All right, just started the stream. Give me a second. Is
I was going to ask.
running or something? Oh, it's that machine coming, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's the compressor. I have some. What do you mean? I have some.
You're in? Okay, 10 seconds, guys.
Put it right in the middle.
Exactly. Actually, just start off with this one. It's going to be weird to start off with this.
I got you. We'll switch it up. But in the first 10 seconds, we'll have seen both angles at least once. All right.
Well, you told me to wait 5 seconds.
I did.
Now you don't want me to?
He's a director that doesn't know what he wants.
And we're live. Welcome everybody to the second Haas Demo Day Live. We appreciate you all joining us. Today we're going to talk about something different. Usually you're used to us talking about machines and showing you our new products. Today we're going to talk about tooling, specifically HaasTooling.com. Now, if you're wondering why is Haas selling cutting tools, we're taking the same approach that we did to making machine tools back in the 80s. And that is, we're going to give you great tools at affordable prices with everything online and all the prices right there for everyone to see. So, a couple of things we're going to talk about today, and obviously I'm just shortening this. All of us normally are wearing masks, we're maintaining social distancing. I've got mine off because we're on camera. But anytime that we're not live, we're all wearing masks and blah, blah, blah. We're here in Camarillo, California, about 10 miles from the Haas factory in Oxnard, and this is where our video studio is. We're going to be at 3 basic locations today. Obviously, we're going to be here. This is the star of the show, all the tools, and we're going to talk about these extensively. We're also going to be over here with somebody you probably all recognize, Mr. Mark Terryberry. Mark's got a cool cutting demo. He's going to talk about the tools that he selected for the demo, why he selected those. He's also going to talk about some of our work holding that we'll have coming soon to HaasTooling.com. Throughout this event, we're going to display a coupon code. It's going to give you some percentage off tools. Now, are we going to give them a deadline on this? Like you got to use it today?
Today only.
It's good for today only. Make sure you write this down. We'll put it up a couple times throughout. Our next location is on the VF3SS with somebody else you guys all know and recognize from videos, Mr. John Nelson, Senior Applications Engineer. John's going to talk about all the testing that was done in order to get these tools to market. We didn't just buy these tools and put them on the website. We've done extensive testing, and John's going to go through the procedure for you. All right? Over here, we've got Marcus Imes. Marcus, you want to stick your head in here? Marcus is going to be monitoring the chat the whole time. So if you have any questions, dial them in the chat. Marcus will hit you back, and we may even answer some of them live. And then at the very end, you probably noticed behind me, we've got some swag. We've got Haas t-shirts, hats, pens, water bottles, all kinds of cool stuff we're going to talk about at the end. All right, thanks again for joining us. Let's get started. We're going to start over here with Mr. Mark Terryberry. Mark, talk about the demo, some of the tools you selected and why you selected them.
You bet. So as Brian was saying, here on this 500SS, UMC 500SS, you can see we've got one of these cool low-profile 5-axis vices installed here. And I've got my raw material in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this part right here. Pretty cool. It's got a bunch of nice contouring. It's got some 5-axis features on it, which will put this machine to work. So let's close this guy here, and I'm going to start this thing running. And while that's running, I'm going to talk about a couple of the tools that I really like that we're actually selling on HaasTooling.com. First up, we've got this face mill here, and of course I'm decking off the top of the part as we start off here to give me a nice smooth surface to work with. Then we're going to come in with this end mill, And of course, we're running a really, I'm looking around. I'm not going to do that when I'm actually on camera. We're using this end mill to do most of the profiling on the part, and really good for quick material removal. And then last up, I want to focus on this TSC through spindle coolant drill.
Oh, Sal.
Carbide with a nice high performance coating on the outside.
How do we know which camera's live?
I have to be. I'm switching to the camera that
I know,
I'm
but I've
picking.
seen that.
We aren't going to worry about it. I did the wrong thing. We're always gonna just pick your audience and talk to wherever you think the audience is at.
Yeah,
And
he's
these
not-
guys are gonna
he's-
adjust.
Not
But
supposed to be
that would
switch.
not have what happened here, where Sal started.
I got to
moving
do the
while
right
he was
thing.
live.
And
Well-
that's my problem. Is I looked around for a minute.
I was thinking it would be cool if we had a screen.
I was-
It's actually live.
Oh, but it's going to be a
Too
delay.
confusing. Too difficult for
It's
the
10
guys.
So
seconds
when,
behind.
You
when
just gotta
I'm
look. You just got to look.
No, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about them.
Okay.
Because they started moving while the feed was on Sal's camera.
was my fault. I was supposed to look at
They've got to look
Yep.
at Frank.
yeah, you got to look at me, and then I can give you permission to go.
I have to look at. I have to pick a camera, and they have to look at Frank before they move.
I think like forward go. You're talking about tally that, right?
So yeah, normally what we would do is we'd have a tally light that turns green in the network setup so that you know that you're
How
hot.
about this? How about if we have a Reinhardt like that just sits next to you, and he's at least pointing because ever on camera.
That's
Live
Orville.
feed.
That could be Orville.
That's a
I
lot
think it's
for
going to be
Orville
just
to
as
monitor.
difficult as just these guys doing the right thing.
I understand, but if they're about to move, there could at least be. That's what you guys did. Fuck.
They just got to look at me, and I got to give you the thumbs up.
That's part of what we need to practice. That's part of what we're practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is,
But hey, if I could say, not the worst thing in the world. If it shows up on there, be honest, be sincere, have a laugh about it, and move on.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't want you guys to get. It's easy to think, oh, we fucked it up, but
No.
part of what makes this feed good is, the candor.
It's live.
Yeah.
so one of the things that I'm trying to do is to stay
I'm not
on.
saying this isn't your guys' full-time job, but actually it is shooting video, so.
Yeah, live video is a
This is
different
as good
beast
as it
though.
gets,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. What were you gonna say?
I'm staying on the wide shot as much as possible because it moves the least, and I'm trying to not be in the close-up that long because I know you're moving around.
I got you. It jumped out at me.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying that.
Okay.
All right, so let's keep going. So that's kind of an overview of the three tools that I wanted to talk about today. Now, the other cool thing that we have installed here on the machine is this these cool 5-axis vices and this 0-point fixturing. And this stuff's not available quite yet, but it's coming soon. So you guys will all get a closer look at this in the near future. Next, I'd like to bring on one of the managers at the Haas factory, and we're going to talk about kind of the genesis of Haas tooling. This is Ricky Gray. Come on in, Ricky. And we're going to just talk real quickly about how Haas tooling, how the idea for Haas tooling got started.
Hey, Andrew. You
Yeah.
should be looking at Sal's camera because he's just tired.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
either-
the other
it's
thing.
Either,
You gotta-
it's either
you gotta-
me or
it's either you or
Sal doesn't
Yeah.
even exist for
Yeah,
us
right.
on
Exactly.
camera.
Yeah.
Let me just write that down. Just making all these notes here. Sal doesn't exist.
He's invisible.
Why has Sal been so depressed lately? Okay. Okay, so Ricky says his thing about how it started and how he was buying tooling and they got good tooling for less money. And
Good
then
move.
we kick it back to Mark. Thank you so much, Ricky. That really kind of tells us all about the fundamentals of how this thing started. Now we're going to throw it back over to John Nelson and Brian to talk about this wide array of tooling here.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. So John and I are going to talk about some of the tools laid out on this table, and we're going to start with tool kits. So we've got a 10-piece McNugget kit and a 20-piece
Go ahead.
McNugget kit. John, can you explain a little bit about what's in each of these kits?
Well, in this McNugget kits right here, basically we're offering a 20-piece set. It could be all ER collets. It comes together with the wrenches for the different size, as well as the ER collets and the pull studs. The genesis of this is to be able to get all the stuff you need on your machines right away. And we have variants from a 20, like Brian said, down to a 10, and even a different 10 if you prefer, or to have all ER collets. So depending on your needs, you might want to have either with shell mills or ER collets as you need be.
Great. Let's move down. We're going to leave these for later. This is the secret stash. Oh no, sorry, that's the secret stash. So some of these individual tools. Now, we just chose a few, just a selection of a few tools from the website, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So just grab a couple, whatever catches your eye, and talk about some of these tools.
So for instance here, this 1-inch end mill 6 flute, it's we've done dramatic testing on this, but it goes together with the nice ER collets, or you can grab them in a chuck. We also have drill point for long drills to be able to get to that long, deep size. Shell mill cutters, different types of inserts. It's just an array of different tooling to be able to get you up and running. Some of the stuff that we selected is what mostly 90% of you guys already use. So we're trying to get everything as much as possible to you guys.
Okay, let's move down a little. We're going to have a little cover over this. This is the coming soon stuff, so you can't see this just yet. Couple more kits here. We got a whole bunch of pull studs, and then we've got some end mills.
On the pull side start of it, you know, we selected 100 piece because most of you guys have 30-some on tool changers, 50-some on tool changer. So we try to give you enough so you can set up the entire machine. But we also did a combination. Some are pull, some are TSC, some are not, because depending on your needs would be. So we tried to make sure that you had an array of different things.
Okay, the end mills, we've obviously got a bunch of different sizes.
Same things with the end mills. You know, for instance, here we have a 50-piece kit for aluminum cutting, and you got your roughers and your mid roughers, some finisher, some more small stuff, and just trying to give you enough of the redundant tools to be able to set out your 50-some on tool changer.
Okay, now John's gonna walk to his station. Okay, we're gonna come back more and talk about some of these tools a little bit later, but now we're gonna move over to John Nelson. He's on the VF3SS, and John's gonna talk about testing.
You guys can go.
John, it's all yours.
I got a question here. He talks about the demo and everything inside. Are you gonna be able to film inside?
Go ahead, Tyler.
What we talked about is we're gonna show you start it, and we're gonna get as close as we can to see in the window. And in this case, we will have a separate video that Frank can cut to. And what John's gonna say is, I'm gonna start the demo running. You can see it running through here in the window, but we've also got a pre-recorded version of the same thing that we're gonna switch over to in a second here. Frank, take it away. Something along those lines.
So that's gonna go first, and then he's gonna talk about the tooling?
Was it demo?
I mean,
I don't remember which order
I
he
don't
had it
know what
in.
order he
I'd
had
have to
it in.
look at his.
Yeah, because first he talks about just what's in here, and then he talks about the philosophy of the tooling.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna talk about the setup before he starts the demo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to find his.
yeah, I don't have his outline.
Okay. All right, well, here's on the hot cutting test, solid carbide end mills. Solid carbide end mills, we did this test, it's 4140. Some of the testing that we did here, if you notice the gray vise that's coming soon as well. Some of the testing
Yeah,
that
he
we've
just
done
gave them to
here
me, but I
is
didn't put them
a
all in there.
profile milling.
I
then
just did a
along
couple of them real
some
quick.
sliding milling in both directions and a lot of
tricky
pockets.
time-wise to try
Just
to
so
get
we
them
can
to
test
line up
the
exactly when
tooling
they're tossing.
Mark,
fully
you're
to
gonna
make
be
sure
coming
that
back
we're
over
hitting
here
the
with me.
recommended feet and speeds. Some of the tooling that we've tested
Yes.
is 6 different variety of materials. We have your ink, your
We're gonna be doing.
4140,
That's the thing. We
your
need to- we
1018,
need to change the
your
camera
316
angle.
stainless,
We can't be
it's
that
in
far away
cast
with
grade
that white shot.
tooling. Along with the testing, we created a VPS template.
So that
We created a VPS template so we can capture
thinking the exact same
ID
thing.
tool, the diameter, the number of flutes, the depth of cut, work holder, work depth
Okay.
of cut, material, feet and speeds. The
Okay.
purpose of this is to be able to capture all the information consistently. So
Okay.
there is no fat fingering of any information. You run through the cycle, it asks you
I'll
a series
give
of
him
questions, you answer the questions yes or no, and then you can actually take that information and upload it and be able to go back and do the diagnostics on it.
That's the secret of stuff.
you got to be like here.
Some of the tooling that we've done, or some of the testing, this is going to be the part here.
Yeah.
Some of the testing
No,
that
no,
we've
we will,
done,
we will.
you notice that
No, no,
a
we
bunch
will.
of holes
Yeah.
here. We did the intensive test cutting,
Or
lots
the
of
thing would
holes,
have to
lots
be
of
at
tapping,
an angle, which we're
lots
not
of
going to be
cutting.
able to do. But I think if we can get the camera up
and
about
be able
here
to get all the
and go
information,
wider,
blah, 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 blah.
I mean,
blah,
you
blah,
really
blah,
want to
blah.
be like
Yes, all this stuff.
that on these, I think.
How long is this
I
going
think
to go
you want to
for?
be like
Just
this
stop.
close.
We're shifting over here.
All right.
That shit all looks good. You guys have got that. That's, you've been doing that a million times. It's this tool that looks so normal. I was saying when you looked at it with the shot. Well, here, just pull it up. Go shoot it again like you were.
Yeah, let's set up for that second location again.
Because to me, that's what I think is going to be interesting. Is people really begin to see the tools.
Same
could.
thing with these, or not so much on these?
I think all. I mean,
What if we could just get a shot of
I
like a
think
nice
you
view?
could walk along, like you do. That's what I mean by the QVC
You could.
style, where you see.
Yep.
It seems like half the time
gonna
you
be
go
tough
to
for Sal to
QVC,
go
what
high.
you see him doing.
And like get a nice shot. And he's probably gonna be in the wide shot too. And then obviously he has to move the legs too when he goes back to adjust the next shot.
Yeah.
I was telling him that maybe just getting like a nice shot right now and putting it
Oh, yeah.
over the.
I just thought the same thing.
If I say it another way, you're adding one more variable
Yeah.
in the switch to.
He's already trying to switch, trying to put up overlays, trying to tell you guys when to move.
Let's find the angle that we like now,
Yeah.
and then mark the floor so that we hit that spot.
There you go.
And let's start with this one.
But and again, because what I was trying to say, half the time it seems like when you've seen a QVC thing going on, they're in tight on whatever they're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're on tight for a while. So I think that's fine, even if the way you're shooting here and it's just Brian and John touching the tools, and even if they pick them up and they come out of frame, that's fine, because again, people are going to be picking at nits to look at how these tools look real closely, particularly here. When there's a lot of shit to look at, you know, the pull studs, and that's the one thing I would, you know, like here's the finish. You know, we'd want to show how good these are. That's the one thing everybody questions is, where are they made? Oh, it's Chinese shit.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing though. It's gonna be tough for him to set up and get like a close shot of that and then something over here.
But-
Well, we got 3 cameras.
we can plan for it ahead of time.
Yeah.
We just have to choreograph it. So if you're all
If you guys are okay with me being in almost every single one of these shots during that time, there's no problem.
I think it's fine.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Then
I mean, that's the only way to get the close-ups. But let's say that the wide shot, like if there's 3 of you, the wide shot is always here on the left, and I'm trying to crop you out
Yeah.
of my wide shot. The medium shot is going to be next to you, and you're this close. You know, so I think all you guys need to get like closer.
I think when we go through, yes. Because again, as Brian said in the open, this is the star of the show. This is what people really want to see. I mean, the cutting's cool, so they at least feel good that we did something. But again, to be able to, let's take one of these kits and pick one that we do pop these open.
Okay.
Because I think that's worthwhile of, you know, these are high quality collets. And when you can zoom in and really show the tool, I mean, even the edge breaks on these things are nice. And it's those little subtleties that make the difference between a piece of shit tool and a really nice tool.
Let's so when we go
These are fucking nice tools, man. I mean, they really are.
when we go from this station to this station,
Yes.
what's the first group of tools that we're going to talk about?
We're gonna be behind the kits, so we're basically
these
gonna be in
kits?
the corner.
All right, so let's put the cameras in the ideal location. Like, let me get you way up here, like right here.
And see, I think this stuff benefits. Even if you just have some of the empty boxes.
Okay,
Okay.
that's okay. Maybe we cheat you over that way a little bit.
And we've got extra tablecloths, and you just throw the tablecloths over top of the boxes.
So at
So,
this
you know,
point,
it's
your
just
wide
not
shot,
waterfall
I think, is a
with it.
2-shot.
Okay.
Can we see exactly where you're going to be standing and where Nelson's going to be standing?
Well, the thought was we're gonna be at this corner, but I don't know if that works for your guys' camera.
Are you
setup.
guys going to do
We can
this?
adjust.
I think you want to be in one spot and they can aim there and you only pick up the stuff that's in that region.
Yeah. What I'm saying is we're going to be talking about these 3 kits, so we can be anywhere in between these 3 kits.
Do you have a beat where you're like one line of dialogue here, and then you're going to do another bit here, or are you kind of
These
hopping
are-
back and forth?
These are the same.
all the same.
Same basic kits. We're just so
Right.
we don't have to be over here.
Gotcha.
But I think to Frank's piece, to make this easier, I think you need marks on the floor for you guys to hit and for them to know where you're going to be.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can be in one spot, and my thought was here, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay, that's fine too. So,
You mean here and here?
Or where Frank and I are now.
My thought with that one is you basically cut this one out. But if you're here and here, and now you're talking about, you know, we have a 10-piece kit, we go to a 20.
I need
have
you
it play
close.
back and forth, and then you can progress
You-
around.
you
too.
got-
Now we have different styles.
yeah, but see, the problem is the farther back you are,
Okay.
the
Can
lower
we-
you are.
You guys can get
So
us
you
in
wanna-
a medium and wide if we start
I
here.
think you need to be like here.
I can get you in the medium for sure.
But then when you start with an establishing shot, medium there,
That's good.
then just cut in to you coming right in. I would just switch to that camera.
That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
You know
where.
what, again, even,
Yep.
even if Sal walks into frame, I think that's kind of cool.
That's the shot.
To see the behind the scenes.
That's the shot. Yeah. Come have a look.
I'm
Crotch
like,
looks massive.
that is distracting.
It's kind of distracting.
Maybe just don't go to Rick's camera.
I'm like right.
It's okay. That's the two
Well,
shot. That's
once-
fine.
once we put the
What if
little
we get
boxes,
you
it's gonna go a
doing one
little bit
shot?
above.
Just one guy. Just Brian only.
There you go.
Okay. So the wide is two shot. You can get even closer now because you're not going to get in Tyler's way until you're like right here. So when I get you closer,
Okay, one guy.
you just get one guy. And if you want to just kind of slowly drift back and forth,
And this camera is not in frame?
No, he's cropped out. So we don't see him.
It's almost like Rick's on you and Tyler's on Art.
Okay,
That's fine.
and that
Even
cuts
better.
me out of the frame.
even better.
so if you think about it from left to right, wide, closer, close up, let's just duplicate this at every setup. This setup, and that setup.
So, okay,
Mark the
so to
point.
make your guys' life easy, okay, so we're gonna say, this is stop number 1,
There you go.
okay?
Yeah.
So, and we'll mark these out this afternoon. This is stop number 1. Now let's go to stop number 2, which is gonna be around to this kit.
Remember,
So
Tyler, just
Sal-
move last, okay?
Sal backs out, and we're right here.
Yep. So Rick, you panned across. We're still in frame there. You're getting detail shots.
This is stop number 3, and we're gonna be talking about all the tools in these kits. We're gonna be showing you some collets like that.
Beautiful. That's good.
I don't even
Some
see
tool holders.
Let me get you getting one dude. There you go.
Okay, stop number 3 is going to be in front of all these tools. So Sal, you back out, and we're going to be talking about these tools right here. Now this is where you guys are going to have a problem.
Just not hitting. Okay.
Rick, I think he stays here, then I have to move now because he's gonna have.
That's where you're going to need to have
I'll look
the
at you to
rooms
tell me what
called
to
out.
move.
Just look at
Yeah, right here.
just look at me before you move.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys were waving. That was perfect.
See, but I think that might also be the time at this one when they're going to have their back to you to have Orville come up and tap
Okay.
when to move.
Okay. I could send
I-
Orville.
I just-
Perfect. I could send Orville to go out there and say, "Hey, move."
What are you going to be doing in all this, Andrew?
That's it.
Not much.
Okay, so we've
Probably running around. Yeah, it could be me too.
Do these come up
But what
a little bit?
I'm just thinking that way.
That's gonna
because I'm worried about, frankly, the cords.
That's the highest it
tripping
goes.
over shit. That's
Yeah,
what
well, we're
it
gonna
does.
we're gonna tape these off on here.
And
We're
you're
also
all
gonna
the way,
tape-
like-
we're gonna get the maximum length and tape all the extra off on the
Okay.
floor, so that shouldn't be a
No
problem.
problem.
I'm gonna do that later today.
All right. I was just thinking of, looking at how to help.
I think the run through after lunch. I think we can practice this tapping and stuff.
I have a question for you. Why is all the coming soon shit before?
It's just where we set it. I'll move it down to the end, and we'll move the pull studs over here.
Yeah, 'cause just from watching the camera work you guys are doing, I think it's awesome.
up those.
Progression.
Yeah, it's good to go sequentially. Yeah,
Exactly. You want to get
jump
real
and-
close.
And then that gives Frank the opportunity to have the overlays, because I think that's going to be key.
face, a camera in my
is
face,
to have-
and someone.
The key is going to be having that overlay. I'm stressing that one because I can just see people hopping in midstream or not knowing what we're talking about.
Okay.
But being able to realize that this is a unique kit.
Okay.
Coming
So
soon?
I'll sit down
these are
with
just loose
just
tools,
now.
individual
We'll go over them each with
Oh, that's the other
Brian,
ones, okay.
and I'll make sure that I have them in the right order, and then I'm switching to them when we need to switch to them.
So we're going to have,
I have a question real quick. So when you switch to an overlay, will that remain present even as you switch between cameras?
No, I have to tell each camera which overlay it's going to have ahead of time.
Okay.
How many videos are you play between the whole stream?
We haven't even talked about that. We might play this video at the very end, like as a commercial on the way out, with sound and everything.
How long is that video?
30 seconds.
We also have the 1.5-minute one too. We have the longer one as well.
Is it worth throwing that in there at some point as you guys break and reorient cameras?
I think we should do it at the end because it's just another thing to switch to. So it's easier if we can do it last.
What if we put those videos of just the tools actually cutting? Should have the tools and stuff like that?
yeah, we're gonna have some videos like, I think there's some cutting footage that we're gonna use.
Yeah,
So
we wanna
those will
make
be
a
in the
video
layer
that's
structure.
basically the nice shot of John's testing demo there. It's just going to use existing footage.
Zach out.